Hi, my name is Rituparna and welcome to Read Along with Ritu. Today's story is about a report card and a story that happened to me quite many years ago. So, when I was in grade 5, I remember a day when I got my maths paper and I was waiting for my report card. Actually, the report card came a little later, but it was the maths paper. You see, when I was small, I grew up in a world where exams, marks, report card were very important. Not in my household, not with my parents, but in the world that I grew up in. Everybody paid a lot of importance to the marks that you got and the report card or the A's or the A pluses that you got. So it was grade 5 and it was term 1. I got the marks that I got was a 92%. And the second term, I got a 20%. But the 20% that I got, 20 out of 100, I was so ashamed that I carried the maths paper back home and I put it under my bed, under my pillow, and I went off to sleep. I was ashamed. I felt guilty. I was embarrassed. I felt sad for my parents that I had disappointed them. Disappointed not because they expected more of me, but disappointed because I couldn't give them a simple joy of bringing home better grades. And that evening, I remember my mother, when she came next to my bed, she saw that I had wet pillows and my face looked different. She saw a little piece of paper sneaking out from under the pillow. And she took out that paper. She saw the marks. She picked up a pen. She signed her name and tucked the paper back under my pillow. In the evening, when I woke up, I found her signature and I knew that my mother was part of my story. My mother never brought it up. Why did I not tell her? Instead, she told me that it's all right. And so did my father say, it's fine, it's just a paper, these are just marks. What matters is that you are aware of where you're going wrong and you can work on it. In the third term, I got a 78%. Much better than my 20%, but and not as good as my first term results. But I was happy that my parents stood by me when I made a mistake or when I thought that a report card just makes me who I am. So the story that I'm going to read today is called The Very Shocking Report Card. I found this on Pratham Story Weaver. I think it's a delightful tale to talk about the kind of report cards that we could all want. So the story has been written by Jane D'Souza, illustrated by Sonal Gupta Vaswani. It's a level 3 book, so which means it is good for children ages 10 and above. Here we go. Papa took Pattu's report card from Miss Anuradha like it was a box of sweets with a big smile to match. Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Anuradha. Thank you for the report card, said Pattu's father. But look at Pattu's face and look at Pattu's teacher's face. They are not too thrilled, they are not too happy. In fact, they look as if they don't have any expressions. I wonder why. Last time, Pattu had made a paper plane out of his report card. He sent it flying home. Whoosh! But it never got there. He wondered why. Why do you think? Have you ever made paper planes out of your exam sheets? Maybe the sparrow in the tree could tell you what a warm nest it made. Or the peanut seller could tell you what a nice cone it made. So the report card went flying in the air, and Pattu thinks maybe it became the nest for a bird or a cone for the peanut seller where he sold his peanuts. And look, you can see a hand holding up a cone of peanuts. So this time, Papa went with Pattu to get his report card from the teacher himself. Papa looked at Pattu's report card. His smile went from a slice of papaya to a thin wedge of lime. Look at his face. It changed colors as well. And there was Pattu looking at Papa, wondering what is he thinking and how is he going to respond to his grades in the report card. Do you know what he got? Let's see. 3 out of 10 for reading. Papa's eyebrows dashed together like colliding bulls. 4 out of 10 for recitation. He shook his head from side to side like a tree in a storm. 2 out of 10 for spelling. He let out a long whoosh. It sounded like a train engine. As they walked home, Papa thought, this report card needs to be made not into a paper plane, but into a rocket and launched so far, far away. What will Pattu's mummy say? She always used to come first in class. And I think that's where parents go a little wrong. If the parents came first in class or they were achievers, parents expect children to be that. Or if they were not achievers, they expect their children to outdo their story. It's a little unfair, isn't it? Just then, Pattu's friend Shambhavi came running and gave Pattu a toffee. This is for sharing your pencils with me yesterday when I forgot to bring one, said Shambhavi. No wonder Pattu comes home with no pencils, thought Papa. Pencils for toffees? That's a nice exchange, isn't it? I used to share my pencils too, but I was a hawk. I wanted my pencils back at the end of the class every day, and I think I never lost a pencil. On the way home, a bunch of dogs ran alongside him, wagging their tails happily. Pattu bent down and patted their heads. I give Kalu, Chintu, and Bintu a few puris from my lunchbox, he said. Oh, you see, he's made friends with all the dogs on the street. I was very scared of dogs. It looks like he shared his tiffin with them. And your mummy is so happy you are asking for extra puris, thought Papa. If only she knew where they disappeared. Tiffin and sharing tiffin. I've got lots of tiffin stories. But when Papa were almost home, when their neighbor Das uncle called out from his garden, Hello, Pattu, I don't need medicines today. Papa wondered, we don't need medicines as well. Why is he talking about medicines? Das uncle said, I asked your son to buy medicines for the corner shop from me. He always brings back the exact change. You must be so proud of him. And look at that. He knows his maths. Yes, he takes money, goes and buys medicines for Das uncle, and he brings back the exact change. Isn't that lovely? At home, Mummy came out and asked, How is Pattu's report card? Papa closed his eyes and said, It was a big, big shock. Look at him, he's really in shock. And look at Pattu's face. Pattu's face was as small as a crushed grape. You can see the grapes next to his face. He felt really sad and upset. 9 out of 10 for sharing, said Papa. 10 out of 10 for kindness. 11 out of 10 for respect. Pattu's face was like an orange and Mummy's like a watermelon, both bright and full of joy. Mummy went down, held Pattu close and hugged him and kissed him. Mummy sat down with Pattu. This is my real report card, Pattu said. Mummy smiled. 12 out of 10 for honesty. No one could get a better report card. Do you have report card stories too? And do you have report card stories of your own? Did you bring back a report card to get hugs and congratulations from your parents for all the good things that you achieved and all the good things that your teachers told them? Or did you have your parents help you with the little weaknesses that you discovered all along? Whatever be your report card story, do share them with me and I would love to listen to them. But here is a little activity that you can do with your parents. How about drawing up a report card of all the good things that you do and that you celebrate, that you have in your life, that are not there in your school report card? Things like kindness, empathy, sharing, giving. What about creating a report card for your parents? How about being transparent and talking to each other about how you feel, how your relationships are built, whatever be that case? Make a lovely little report card for yourself and your parents and discuss it. It's a nice thing. Trust me, adults who've grown up, who've grown out of being judged, or who've grown out of having report cards, it'll be a nice, refreshing change to have a report card given to them by their own children. So go ahead and have some fun with the report card. It should not be something that is stressful, that is bringing shame and guilt and embarrassment to you. It should be something that you look forward to, that you celebrate together as a family. So until the next story, happy storytelling.